Hello everyone, a very good evening. We are here in China for round 8 of the RPM calendar in Shanghai. We are currently going to watch mid-gear after low gear had a great race yesterday. My name is RPM Bakker and I'm joined by RPM Jones. Are you there, Jones?
Good evening.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Much better than yesterday.
Much better. So you already had a lot of fun in Shanghai.
Yeah, fun's an interesting way to describe it. I think it was for everyone else, but it should make for good racing here. It's a tough
Also
track.
interesting is to see that we got a wet qualifying.
Yeah, which makes it a track that you really struggle for traction anyway, even harder here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some spins.
It is on the Inters though, so maybe, just maybe, we get the opportunity to see some dry tires at the end of quali. I'm opening the TAS dashboard myself right now. TAS, one of the systems we use in RPM to see exactly what the drive is doing, what sector times, see the weather prediction spot on, and I can confirm we are not getting a dry track at the end of quali. So we will need to do it with the rain.
Yeah, and a few drivers taken to the track now.
On board with Fast Machine, I was the first one, closely followed by one of the Williams, that's Yameen's. See how the traction is doing. Enabling the telemetry so the chat can also see how it goes. If the sound is alright on stream, please let us know in the chat. If not, we will change it so everyone can hear us right. As known, we had some troubles in Silverstone for the sprint race with our audio. And I can tell you guys, you missed out on a lot.
Yeah, it was some great racing last week. The sprint races really made it really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Luke, who is the Ferrari driver in mid-gear, taking the win last week in Silverstone. And I also think...
spun.
So Yameen's already spun on his outlap. Fast Machina is the first car who crosses the line to go on a hard lap. Quinn sending a thumb in the chat, so I think the audio is fine. Great to see you here in the chat, Quinn. Hope you get a nice race to see as well. So do we have any updates on the weather for the race? Does the TAS system tell us anything? Or will it just be a wet qualifying? Can you see it or?
No.
All right, very helpful. I like a helpful colleague. I'm watching it myself right now and I see it's just cloudy, no rain expected. So we might see a lot of tactics now as well, since the drivers will get a free tire choice for the race.
Which can be helpful because the tyre degradation here is pretty bad, as we saw yesterday. The soft tyres just wouldn't last very long at all.
No, the tires are having a tough time around here. Might also have to do with the lots of... the corners are not long, there are a lot of short corners. We see Fast Machina, who looks to be taking it quite easy to at least set his bank a lap in. Through the final corner now. And the first lap we will get on the board is a 1:45.4.
And Kron's just about to cross the line behind him.
And he goes for the 45.3. I also see Flying by Val, 45.5.
So tight from the first few runners, but we might see a dry line as they start to circulate more. So they might see the times drop pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks like it's not raining too hard either, so... Well, Colin is joining us in the chat as well. Good evening, Colin. Yamin's even left the session. He is allowed to join back. Well, we are on board with the race winner from last week, Luke, who had a little moment coming out of the hairpin.
And Rick has gone fastest by half a second.
So Rick looks to be prepared. Also, we did see him in some rain races having some great pace. I believe Rick is not in the top 10 in the standings at the moment. But it's quite a shame. Colin asking if we get a wet race. We will not have a wet race. The race will be entirely dry.
The championship leader Boris is about to go across the line, and he goes fastest by half a
5
second to Rick.
faster than Rick. Great lap there from Boris. While I'm seeing an Aston Martin coming, and that's Captain Mizel, if I'm saying it right. I believe he's new to
swiftly
RPM.
Followed by Swifty Ryan.
Oh, I like that little play of words. We invalidated his lap, I guess.
So he's going again. He's only got half his ERS though on this run.
Swifty Ryan on board with him for his lap. Also new, so both Aston Martin drivers are new to RPM. Swifty, one of the youngsters joining mid-gear. I believe he's 13 years old only. Let's see what he can do.
And Dex put in a very quick lap to go 3 tenths quicker than Boris.
So there's a lot of time to gain in those laps. Seeing the gaps there are in the top 3. Maybe Boris, Rick, Kron, Lau, they all went for a banker lap first. Because of course on a dry track you can already easily lose out on traction on this track.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have one lap in. You know everything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Although it took me ages to get that lap in. I'm probably the worst person to speak to about it. Vesmacina's 2 tenths up on his time through sector 2.
He is right behind Swifty Ryan. So as soon as Swifty Ryan crosses the line for his first time, I will switch to Vesmacina to see what he does. Oh, lots of wheel spin there for Ryan in the hairpin. Does manage to save it, but might have cost a lot of time. But he is coming over the line with a 46.0. And then we see Vesmacina improved 5 tenths, but is not going up on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got a yellow flag for Flying Boy Val, who seems to have lost it on the exit.
Yeah, and Luke also lost it off track at
Trying
that
to
point.
get a view of that. Yeah, he's there in the wall. Terminal damage for him. We've already also seen Kron. Oh, completely outbraking himself on the pit entry. Going straight ahead. That looked a bit odd, but can happen to the best.
Boris is 3 tenths up on his time. If he can keep this up, he might just pit deck.
On board with him now. Equal, we've seen Equal moving into P2 with a 44.3 as well. Well, Matt also joins the chat. Good opportunity for the mediums. Yeah, absolutely. Matt, one of the guys who... Matt actually won the race yesterday. They was really pleased at LP yesterday with a 1-2. And Boris crossing the line, taking pole. Really close to deck. But a pole is a pole, of course.
Yeah. But I wonder if the track will dry out a lot more.
Huss approaching the final corner. Is he going? He's going in, so no time for Huss. Swifty Ryan also getting the car in. And then we see Vesmessina again going in as well. I'm really lucky on switching at the moment. Craigo, he's up on his time, approaching the final corner. He might go in for a lap, his lap. He does. Crossing the line with a 45.6, improved by 2/10 on his first time, moving him into P12. So we see Shiggs, Mirko, Yamins and Marco all didn't set a time yet.
And Equal's coming around the last corner, is he? No, he's gone into pits. So I think people are getting some fresh tyres on and
trying to see if Dragos is going for a lap. I'm going to use.
I think he was going much slower. I think he was about 3 seconds down on his time. So
yeah, I see. The task just confirmed me as well.
Oh, and Craigo spun.
Yeah, I just switched to him when I noticed he was.
I think everyone out there at the moment is kind of on in laps.
It does look like it indeed. You see, I believe Marko Salidovic now just went out for his out lap. Might have waited for the track to at least dry out a little bit. But circumstances still don't look too well.
And he's obviously caught quite close behind Dex, so he doesn't want to get in that dirty air, so he might slow down just to get himself a nice space for his lap.
Kron also on an out lap in the first car to cross the line to start a lap again. On board with the Mercedes of Kron. You can clearly see the piles of water on the straight there. Spray is not coming from the car all the time, it's just at some points. Kron closely followed by one of the Ferraris. It might be Luke on his out lap.
And he's up, but he's not up by a lot. Just 600ths at the moment.
Well, I'm having a little fight with my beer at the moment, who's not opening the way it should open. But we are back on again.
It doesn't look like the conditions have improved massively from the start of the session in terms of a dry line at the moment.
No, it doesn't. It looks like it's all staying the same at the moment. While we see, but the pole is still up for grabs for any. While Kron goes off, just got that on stream. I'm sorry for that one, Kron. Trying to see who's the next one who will be on a lap. It looks to be one of the Aston Martins. No, it's not. Might be Loud.
Dex seems to be on quite a good lap so far.
Yeah, I was about to say that the pole position is still up for grabs with the purple sectors are all shared. Boris got the fastest purple sector 1.
Dex just gone purple in sector 2. If you can hold on to that, he'll just pit Boris. He was 400ths up on his time.
And Rick has a purple sector 3, so there's a lot going on, and everyone can actually take pole at this.
So that might be differences on the setups then working as well, that we're seeing a lot of different people being faster in different sectors, so that could be interesting for the race as well.
Let's see if Deck crosses the final corner. And he takes pole now by 43.6.
So he had a absolute mega third sector.
Yeah, he also took the fastest sector 3. So always Rick is on his out lap. Might be Huss now coming over the line. Not improving, so
yeah. Luke's up on his time through sector 2, I think.
Marko Sarinovic right behind, who goes for P16, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So he might have made a little mistake there. And Mirko on an out lap as well. Mirko, who was leading the championship for quite a while, then got some unfortunate races.
I think Luke will be the next one to cross the line, and he was up in sector 2.
Let's switch to the Ferrari of Luke in that case. Final corner for him. Taking the shortest way to the line, but doesn't improve.
Down, yeah. He was about 2 tenths up, I think, in the second sector, so he's had a tough third sector there.
See Laur in P7 also improving in both sectors. So Laur might be on for a good result as well, at least a good lap. Mirko retired, so Laur moves into P5 with a 44.5. And we lost Mirko.
And Dragos are improving.
Yeah, Mirko
Which
is out.
Obviously with the fact that he doesn't really get the strategy advantage, Mirko, either being at the back there. Usually if it had been dry qualifying, he can choose the tyre, but obviously everyone's going to get to choose the tyre here.
Yeah, also, of course, we've seen the DNF of Flying Boyvel, who's still in P10. Not a lot of guys are improving in the circumstances. So Flying Boyvel isn't looking too bad at all after an early DNF.
And Dragos just went 3 tenths quicker, so he's jumped up to 9th now.
Rick lost 6 tenths on his time, so will not be improving. Well, I missed it, but Swifty Ryan moved into P7 with the Aston Martin. Trying to see who's coming across. Shakes is on an out lap, so not Shakes. Both of the Ferrari drivers are coming towards the line right now. And Luke improves to P8. That's almost 2 tenths improvement of Luke. What can his teammate do, who is 1.2 seconds slower than his first time? Rick, 1.7 seconds slower. But this might also just be burning fuel for that one final lap, because we have 50 seconds to go.
Yeah. And I think people will just keep circulating the tyres, probably improve. Luke's gone a 10th up in the first sector.
Switching to Captain Meisel first, who now approaches the hairpin. Closely followed by the McLaren of Dragos.
Interestingly,
and Gregor lost it and retired.
Job's done.
Here we see Captain Meisel getting on his lap, and Dragos goes in. So Dragos will not try and improve his lap. Marko Sarinovic dives in as well. That's quite interesting to see. Kront was off track. I am trying to see who is going to cross the line. It might be Boris. Yeah, Boris. And now coming out of the final corner. And doesn't improve. Can always Rick maybe
Loud spun.
do anything here. On the main straight. Going to have a quick look at his time. It's quite equal to his fastest lap in Sector 1 and Sector 2. So we've seen a purple Sector 3 from him
Captain
already.
Captain Meisel's lost it. He was up on his time. He's just spun.
Here comes always Rick towards the line and invalidates. Goes too wide on the exit. While the other Aston Martin of Swifty Ryan is also in the barriers at the hairpin, where Flying Boyvel's tire is still standing. Bad marshal work there. And that might be it for the qualifying. Because Laur, of course, invalidated. Swifty Ryan not improving. It is
and looking
how
at
it
the
stands.
championship, Shigs, Mirko and Yarmeens being at the back, they're quite high up in the championship, so that's really bad for them.
Yeah, I also don't really know why they didn't set a lap. Mirko, of course, DNF'd. Didn't see Shigs DNF. Neither did I see Yamin's DNF.
I saw Yarmies have a couple of spins, I think. So whether he just struggled to get a clean lap on the board, I don't know.
What we do know is that qualifying is over. We got the pole position for Deck, who is really showing his pace this season once again. Closely followed by RPM Boris in P2. 3/10, but in a dry race you never know what's going to happen. Now we see Equal in the Mercedes in P3 and always Rick in P4. Invalidated his final stint, but will be happy with that P4, of course. Then we got Huss in P5, also a great qualifying from him. Lau takes P6 in his Alpha Tauri. P7 for Swifty Ryan on his debut in RPM, great qualifying from him. Luke in P8, Kron in P9 and Dragos in P10. I want to go through the entire list, but the countdown is already done.
It's quite a mixed up grid there with the championship battles that are going on. Massive advantage for Boris, the championship leader there. All his close rivals not being close to him on the track.
Absolutely, but of course we know that turn 1 and turn 2 in China can be very chaotic. Also what we said before, Flying by Val DNF'd early on his first stint, but still managed to get P11 in qualifying.
Yeah.
He will be very happy with that one.
And it's very easy on a lot of corners here. You can struggle with traction even in a dry, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a few incidents as the race goes on. I know myself, I had about 3 or 4 yesterday just on my own, so...
Yeah, but we didn't see a safety car in a low gear, where some drivers might have hoped for it, of course.
I definitely was hoping for it.
Let's hope we don't get one in mid-gear as well, because a safety car, of course, always means a DNF, and we want all our drivers to cross the line at the end. Drivers getting ready.
It's going to be interesting to see not only the tyres, the setups that the people are running, because obviously that straight in sector 3 is so long. If you've got a car that's fast in a straight line, it's very hard to overtake you, and obviously very easy to overtake other cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are off for the formation lap as well, and we do see Deck, Boris, Huss, Swifty Ryan, Kron and Marko Solinovic going for those softs, who you just said in qualifying yourself will wear out a lot. So they might be hoping to get a gap in the opening rounds. Then we see Equal and always Rick starting in P3 and P4 on the hard tyres.
Yeah, and looking at the pit stop strategy there, it's the softs last about 6 to 8 laps. I know after my qualifying session, after one lap, they were at about 10% anyway, so they really do wear quick.
Luke is in P8, the first car on the mediums.
So we've got a lot of different strategies going on here. We've got, 6 cars on softs, about 6 on mediums, and the rest on hards.
While we are on board with Luke, he spins on the formation lap. I'm sorry about that, Lukey boy. Maybe on board with always Rick right now. Might be funny.
Maybe Luke was trying a new strategy of getting those tyres nice and warm.
He might be. Also, considering those guys on the hards, they might even look for a hards to softs if everything goes well.
Yeah, we saw a few runners yesterday in a low gear make that strategy work. I definitely think you're going to have to use the hards at some point, and obviously getting it out of the way early on.
Yeah, I spoke with some drivers from all tiers we got, of course, and they all say if it's a one-stop, they should go with the medium hards. So now guys having that free tire choice, taking the hards, it will be interesting to see if they do the reversed version, maybe even the hard softs. But we will find out. Your moment has come. The lights will start burning very soon. And I leave this up to you.
The lights are on. The lights are out. Now, okay, let's go.
And the famous okay, let's go from RPM Jones. Rick not having the best start, lost a place already, losing another one.
It's chaos around this corner. Everyone's
of course,
so
you
tight.
know those hards don't have the tractions the softs got. You can already see about the first 5 cars, 4 of them on the softs. Flying Boy Val, great start from him, P11 and now P8 already. Both of the AlphaTauris are on the hards. Both of the Mercedes.
Just let Cron go. A bit of team play there, but Cron's up 6 places off the start there. Unbelievable start from him.
Yeah, like I said, you can see in the top 5 right now, still 4 cars on the softs. Those traction really help them on the start. But they will wear out a lot, and we need to see if it's enough for them. Yeah. While we see Huss making a move on Equal right now. They're side by side coming onto the long straight. Sector 3, great move from Huss there. Fair driving from both of the drivers.
Equal's fighting it back. He's going to go to the inside. He thinks better of it. It's a long race.
Behind Equal now, always Rick. Lost 2 positions in the first lap.
In a row now as well, so we're starting to see the different races taking place.
Then it looks like Deck and Boris are taking off at the moment because Kron on the same tire, already out of the second in the first lap. Maybe the first 2 are pushing it a lot. Boris definitely is, using a lot of his ERS as well. Same for the other Red Bull driver, Huss, who also had a great start moving into P4. While Swifty
really
Ryan
battling in the midfield,
starting on the softs, lost out 4 positions in the first lap.
Oh, and I didn't see Marco went into the pits. We must have got some damage in that first lap.
On board with the Aston Martin of Swifty Ryan right now. I'm gonna call him Ryan from now on because Swifty Ryan is quite long to pronounce.
When he has a bit of a moment, he's got Dragos right behind him as well.
But should have the traction on those softs. And you can see it right now. Already trying to look for the gap, but Fast Messina might be pushing his ERS as well. And the mediums are not a lot of slower. And side by side in the hairpin here. There's no contact, great driving from both of them.
And Ryan will just have to wait a bit longer. Good exit again. He's putting some Fast Messina under some mega pressure at the moment.
Absolutely. And that's helping out Luke a lot. Oh, and Fast Messina there has his moment. And is in the gravel. Clip that curb a little bit.
Yeah, managed to keep it out of the wall though, so no damage.
Only some position damage here for the Alfa Romeo driver.
And I think
next
Ryan's
up on the
Ryan
is the list.
Yeah. You see if he can get the guys in front. Yeah. He's got the mediums on Luke and then 4 hard runners in front of him.
Well, I'm moving to always Rick real quick, who's close behind Equal. You see the soft runners now having a 2-second gap to Equal in P5, but it's probably not what they hoped for it would be.
Yeah, because it's what, you lose 25, 26 seconds in the pit lane here?
Absolutely, and there's still 5 laps left for those softs. Maybe, I don't know what they actually do if it's a new set.
And I'm seeing Dragos with yellow fuel here. I don't know if that's
Rick going for the move on the inside in the hairpin on Equal, side by side for those two as well. Equal having the better exit. So,
and
great
Luke just
driving.
made a move on Lau, and he's through.
Luke also having that little bit of tire advantage.
And
on
Ryan's
the medium
coming for
compound.
Lau as well. It's very close.
Really close to him now. Also looking on the inside already, but that means he has the outside in this corner.
He's got
side
the traction,
by side.
though.
Lau sticking his nose in there.
The Aston Martin will have the inside line, though. That's great racing from these two.
Absolutely. Swifty Ryan for so far showing a great race from him on his debut. Seen some interesting moves from him already. Great pace.
I think Luke will be desperate to get past the hard runners in 5th, 6th and 7th to make his strategy work. I think the interesting thing at the moment is obviously all these strategies are so different, is how they are going to play out. It's not necessarily who's the fastest on the track. It's going to come down a lot to strategies now.
Yeah, and we do have this DRS train forming up right now. It's basically P5 to P12, who are all in DRS distance of each other. Always Rick managed to get past Equal before the hairpin right now. So he moves into P5 and will be looking to pull away from Equal now. It also looks a little bit like he was stuck behind him.
Yeah, but Equal's got the pace for the DRS. But Rick positions his car nicely there.
So now Rick will be looking to get closer to Huss. First soft runner. Also means that as soon as the softs will fall off, Rick is at this point is provisionally leading the race.
And I think, as you can see, that Rick's only 1.8 behind Huss. The hard is really not. Usually it's much slower, but here it's not that slow. It's quite a good race tyre.
Yeah, it's not as slow as we are used to be. As it used to be.
I found that yesterday as well, because I went for the 2-stop, soft, medium, medium, and the pace advantage wasn't enough over the hards for that to really work.
But Rick doesn't really manage to pull away from Equal here, and now that means Equal will have the DRS back on Rick. Rick not barely using any ERS, almost at 90%. Compared to the 58 of Equal, so that's also not enough for Equal to go for a move again. While Rick is closing down on Huss. And as you said, Luke will be hoping to get past these hard tire cars soon. But for now, it looks like Swifty Ryan had his moment there. And oh, that's an unsafe rejoin, taking out his own teammate. And I'm pretty sure the stewards will see this.
It's a safety car. And that really changes all the strategy. It really helps the front four. I don't know if Ryan got damaged. I'm sure he'll have... Well, he's got no front wing, but I'm sure he'll have other damage to that car.
I'm going to confirm this for you. Looking at the TAS system, it doesn't show me any information about Ryan having rear wing damage or floor damage at all. He just lost his front wing there.
So he got quite lucky with that then. It could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely,
yeah,
and his teammate was the unlucky one.
Yeah, and as you know, I'm a big Aston Martin fan. China's not been kind to the Aston Martins.
This had nothing to do with China. And we will see the soft runners go in right now.
Yeah, and I think the guys behind what do they do? Because it's a really tough one for them because they're on the hards and it kind of really messes up their strategy for them. And today we're looking really good for this race.
But I can imagine, like we said, all the soft guys are coming in.
Luke
even
might
Huss.
want to pit. And Luke does pit, yeah.
But they
so
won't go for the mediums, right? It's either the hards.
They'll go hards, yeah. I think, and Luke will go hards as well from mediums. He can do that. But Lau, he's going to have to go medium, I guess, because he's going from hards.
Interesting as well
is
RPM always Rick coming in on his hard tires, moving to the mediums.
So he's going to have to two-stop from there, unless he can really look after those tires.
Well, as known, we raced the practice race in RPM, and I did 26 laps on those mediums. I will not recommend it because after 20 laps my tires were completely gone.
Did you have any moments or?
Yeah, I had 2 spins as well when they were still fresh, so that got me a lot of wear as well, but they were like 86% on the front left at the end.
So I guess if Rick's trying to one-stop it, then he's hoping this safety car stays out for another 2 laps, another 3 laps.
Yeah, or he's maybe even gambling on another safety car.
Yeah, that's true.
But we have seen Huss do the same, the soft
and that's really
runner.
changed up the order again. And I mean, the strategies from being hard to decipher is going to be even harder to decipher. Because some people are going to be doing 2 stops, some just going 1.
Some people still need to box, of course.
Yeah.
The entire top 6 is on 6-lap all tires, so...
Well, and in the championship battle, that works out for Shigs, bringing him right up there. Because he was starting... Where did he start?
He started 17th, I believe.
Mirko, Rodo and Shigs, well, Flying Boy Val and Dragos really benefited from that safety car.
And we got, of course, the championship leader Boris, who was chasing down Deck, but both are in traffic right now.
Yeah. And it also brought Marco back into the race. He was 25 seconds behind because of an early incident, so he'll be probably the most pleased to see it.
Vesmacina, who we have seen in the gravel at turn 1, managed to get him to P10. I was about to say, but then he goes in.
Yeah, so he'll be putting the hards on, I imagine, and running to the end. But he's not. The problem is now he's lost track position as well.
But of course, yeah, this is his first stop. He's going for medium, so he still needs another stop.
Yeah, so he will go to soft at the end then, won't he?
I think he will.
Tyre compound. It'd be very strange if he went long on mediums and then going hard for 5 laps.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. So we got a full lap still behind the safety car. That means we will continue at lap 19. So those mediums can go to the end. They won't be optimal at the end, but 19 laps it might be possible.
And I imagine Equile now, will he be trying to... Is he basically suggesting that he's going to go hards to softs? Because he'll need that pace at the end.
I think he will. Because
he
knows the pack is coming back together once again.
Yeah, and we saw the traction advantage early on. But it doesn't last too long with how they go off, and the safety car is in this lap.
Nice early confirmation from the FIA there. Great work from our chief steward saying it's coming in halfway the lap already. My compliments.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get any team principals throwing the headphones around here.
No left cars to let through either, so...
It's always good. And looking at it, just looking at the penalties here, Ryan has 8 seconds of penalties. I imagine most of that came in the incident with his teammate.
Yeah, one was for corner cutting, of course, or at least exceeding the track limit. And the other one might also be for speeding in the pit lane, since he is on fresh parts right now.
So
when is Equal gonna go? It's straight on the exit of the final corner.
Yeah.
Flying Boy Val is awake.
Keeps everyone bunched up behind.
Dragos is awake as well, and is side by side with Rodo in turn 1. Rodo taking his nose out of the inside, not taking the gamble.
And interestingly, out of the front runners, which we had
lost always
Boris,
Rick.
Was he spun?
Always Rick is losing. He is still driving, but losing out a lot. All the way back to P15 for him.
I didn't notice before, but interestingly, Deck and Boris, who were leading the race, have gone on to different tyres. Boris on the mediums and Deck on the hards.
Yeah, so maybe Boris is going to try to take him to the end. One thing is for sure, Deck will have traction until the end on this tyre.
Yeah. So Boris he'll want to get through, but he also needs to look after those tyres.
Boris really close to Deck now. Is he going for a move on the inside of the hairpin? Yeah, he is. Someone in front of him. It might be Mirko outbraking himself there.
Yeah, it looked like he made a little bit of contact with his back tyres, but everything seems to be okay.
So Boris got through. All the cars in front still need to box.
Now Dragos has gone wide. Oh, he's on the grass. Well held, but he's going to lose lots of positions there.
And ending up behind us.
Oh,
and that's Dragos.
Yeah, he's got grass on the
moving
tyres.
His car out of the way. Great work from him.
Yeah, and
unfortunate for him.
I imagine he would have pitted anyway before, but he'll definitely be pitting now.
Well, I see Rodo. I don't know if he actually made a move on Shiggs, but he's in P3. Really close behind Flying Boy Val as well.
Oh, and
Mirko is off now. Also went wide.
And this is actually bought. Luke was down in 8th, was he, I think, before the safety car. And it's brought him into the race with Kron, Deck and Boris only being 1.2 seconds behind them. And on the same strategy, effectively, now, apart from Boris.
Yeah. And we see always Rick also, 15th, now P11 again. Of course, he had 2 cars to overtake. And we see Rodo going for the move on Flying Boy Val, pushing him a little bit wide there on the exit of the corner. He was the car ahead, so I'm no steward, but in my opinion, it's allowed to let your car drift a little bit wide, push the other driver out of the battle. In my opinion, it's just racing. As long as there's no contact, no crashes involved.
Yeah, the main thing is keeping it clean, but you can have hard racing as well.
It's giving yourself some breathing time as well, if you just let it drift a little bit wide so the other one needs to back out. I'm doing it myself a lot as well, so I can't say it's wrong.
And Boris is really being held up by Shiggs and Flying Boy Val now, so he can't get away from Deck.
And his tyres will be wearing anyway, so...
Yeah, and especially in that one where he's got a run on Shiggs now, but he might be a bit too far back unless he dives in for it. Yeah, thinks better of it. And that's probably why he's leading the championship with those decision making.
Consistency is very important. Sometimes you just need to keep your head together, and well, he's going for a move. Oh, and there's some contact with Shiggs as well. I just switched to the on board, and Boris is now going 3 wide.
And he's in between both.
Shiggs, Flying Boy Val, and Boris gets the move done. There's contact now again. And look who got the most trouble out of it. That's Deck on the grass. Outbreak getting wing damage in the final corner.
Yeah. And Luke's then back up.
And Shiggs retired in the pit lane. I was just on board with Deck where Shiggs was in front of.
And of course, Shiggs is second in the championship, so effectively Boris is going to gain another 30 points on him here if he stays third, but you'd imagine that's quickly going to become first or second. As long as he can make those tyres
leaving the lobby now, so he might be pissed off about what happened there.
Yeah.
I know Shiggs and Boris are both Croatians, so there might be some Croatian discussions coming up in DMs.
And yeah, so now Boris's main competition, I think, would be Kron, Huss and Luke.
Always Rick back in P9, really close behind Laur. I know for a fact that Always Rick is being engineered at the moment. And I'm pretty sure his engineer will be screaming at him as well. Ooh, went for it and then taps the back of Laur.
Yeah.
He went for a look. It was pretty far as well. Did get off without damage. And we see Rodo taking the lead of Equal side by side now at the exit of turn 1. And the inside is there for the Haas driver, so it's Rodo in the lead.
Much closer. He'll be in a DRS zone now.
Rodo, who did great in Silverstone as well last week. Lost out on the podium because of penalties, but his pace was great and he shows it once again now. And I know it's his first league racing experience as well inside RPM. So great to see him develop like this. We have a yellow flag and it looks to be Always Rick. Yes. Spun around after the fast left-hander.
Yeah, and he's gone again.
No damage, but spinning around once again. And his engineer will not be happy with this. Luke managed to get past Laur. And we see Captain Mizel leaving the session. Who of course got taken out by his teammate. An unsafe rejoin. Don't want to bring it up too much, but for everyone who zapped in later.
And Flying Boy Val is really holding up the guys behind now and allowing Boris to really run away at the moment.
Boris was, who just moved into P2 as well.
Yeah.
Since he got the DRS.
Kron's got past, so he'll be trying to catch up with those guys. And interestingly, Kron's on the hard and Boris is on the medium, separated by 2.2. So that could come into play late on in this race.
Deck also moved to the mediums, 35.5, fastest lap from him now. And Boris, it's also the question, how much risk is he willing to take, knowing the guys in front and behind him still need to box. Well, we see Flying Boy Val, who is quite close behind Kron now. I don't know if it was the same gap the entire time, but
yeah, there's a few DRS trains out there.
I'm trying to switch to the closest gap, and what might be Marko Salinovic right now to Krego, but then loses some exit on the exit and speed on the exit.
Rick's in the barrier.
So that's the race over for the McLaren of Rick. Well, he's still on track, of course. Maybe a late safety car can help him out, but
he's still got 30 seconds to Yarmeens, so if he can get in, get a new front wing, at least he can still pick up a point for the team.
Grego looking for a move on the outside here of Vesbacina. And that's a great move from the from the Ferrari, I'm sorry. On the
Boris is
Romeo.
Getting very close to Rodo here.
So we're gonna switch back to the race for the lead. Well, I'm getting myself something to drink real quick. You be on comms, RPM Jones.
Yeah, Boris very, very close. But he really needs to get this move done as quick as possible. Kron closing up quick on this pack. And Kron might even get into the DRS range of Equal. And then being teammates, Equal might not fight that. Rodo looked like he had a bit of a moment out of there, and Boris is going to be all over him. And I think he should have this done before the corner on a DRS. Yeah, that looks pretty easy. But Kron is right on these guys now. Flying Boy Val pits, and Luke and Huss are finally released to get up the road.
So I am back.
Yeah, Boris
Colin,
just took the lead.
I see Colin in the chat exactly saying what I really need. They know me too well inside this league.
Flying Boy Val's come out in 12th after his pit stop. But he will be on full attack now on those fresh mediums.
Needs to make 8 seconds towards Marko Sarinovic, who still needs to pit as well. Both of the Mercedes drivers having a great race as well, of course. P3,
I'd imagine
P4.
Equal will let Kron through on this next straight. Because Kron is really going to be in a fight with Boris.
Kron as well. Beautiful match with his car.
Yeah.
There he comes,
and there we
DRS, and it's no defending from Equal at all. Huss even had a little look there. Maybe he wanted to try get past Equal as well.
Yeah, and Luke's just dropped off this group a little bit, but so
we see Rodo pitting from P2. 16 laps on his hard. So now it's no soft strategy for him.
Yeah, now I think we're seeing the battle for the lead that Kron trying to gain on Boris. Obviously, I think Boris will be able to hold him off for a few laps. But will his mediums go off before the end and Kron have an easier overtake in the last few laps?
And Huss now going for the inside on Equal. Great move there from Huss, getting his Red Bull in P3. Splitting those Mercedes drivers up. And now Kron is in a little bit of trouble on the harder compound. Of course, his teammate did let him go through, but he didn't manage to pull away. Now his teammate got overtaken, and Huss is straight behind him. Huss exactly did what those guys not hoped for.
Yeah, and I think Boris would be happy to see this is happening behind, that they're all battling for position.
Luke going for the move now on Equal, because Huss managed to get Equal out of his DRS. And it looks like Equal on his 16 lap old hard tires is dropping further back and back.
Oh no,
Louder.
He's staying out.
He's still staying out indeed. And Luke is out of ERS, so easy move here for Equal. Luke won't fight it too hard either.
But it's
And
really
Loud managed to
costing
get
Luke in
in.
that battle for the podium at the moment. It's
Comments
allowing Huss
saying
and
that
Kron.
Luke is on a mission again. Well, he definitely is. But he does need to get past Equal. And then he can get... Then Huss now going for a move for P2.
And he's got it done.
Quite a bold one.
And Lau has also gained on Luke here. He'll be desperate for that Mercedes to either pit or he needs to get it done on the straight.
And we still don't know if those mediums will fall off at some point, because they're 10 laps old now. And there's still 10 laps to go.
The task, what Boris and Huss's tyres are at?
I can tell you exactly what the tyres are at right now. I don't know what's wrong with Equal. I do think his telemetry is not set, because he's on 0% wear on all tyres. So that's a bit strange. But Boris, 10 lap old medium tyres are already at 38% left front.
Yeah, and left front is the worst tyre for degradation round here.
So his lowest one is 25 on his right rear. But that's still a lot. Because it's 10 laps and it's still 10 laps to go. So that might be 50% on his right rear at the end.
And what are the wear on Kron and Luke looking like? Or is that
Kron,
pretty minimal?
Yeah, his left front is of course way better, 13% better. But his right rear is only 5% off. But so it doesn't look like the hards have a lot of benefit on tire wear, but it does have a little.
Oh, and Boris has lost it. Boris has lost it. He spun. He got too much curb and then lost it on the grass. Oh, he nearly hit Equal.
And Luke just could barely avoid him. And this might be the time for Boris as well to get in, fit those new mediums on. Because this is not what you want.
Fresh softs from here.
So we get some drama here, and Luke now getting past Loud, but it looked like they were on the edge of the DRS detection zone, and they were. So Loud is getting the DRS while being in front of Luke before steering into that corner. Maybe Loud lifted his car a little bit. What tactically gave him a decent DRS there, as Huss is now our race leader. Will we see Huss manage to get those tires to the end? Kron is really close on his hards. But as we've just seen with Boris, a mistake is easily made.
Yeah, and I think it was more to do with him just getting too much on the curb rather than necessarily his tyres. Through this corner we're about to go through with Boris, he just got the curb on the inside here, which you can see he's trying to keep away from now.
I'm trying to find out through the TAS who has the most wear on those mediums. And yeah, of course, at this point it is Boris after that spin. But Loud in P4 also has 30% minimum on his right rear. With 8 laps to go, he might be able to take them to the end, and Huss's tire wear is even lower.
Yeah, and a good point from Colin in the chat that Craigo has made a very good recovery up to 9th.
Absolutely, he went for those hards after his little mistake behind the safety car, I believe. No, he didn't do behind the safety car. And Boris is really struggling now, coming out wide in the final corner as well, while Equal is pitting it. Are we going to see those softs? We are. The Mercedes of Equal going for those softs, and we got a yellow flag in sector 3 as well.
He might.
I don't see what's
Do you reckon
going wrong.
Equal's left that a little too late? Too much to do in only 6-7 laps?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of positions to make up for, of course. And right behind him, Deck on 8 lap old mediums. Now we know the traction of the softs are better, but the mediums are no slow tire on this track at all. This combined with Deck's pace.
So even though Boris has made a mistake, the only person that's going to gain on him really, that's close to him in the championship, is Lau. Luke will also gain, but Luke's a bit further back in 6th position in the standings.
Well, I'm switching on board with Kron real quick now on the long straight. DRS enabled. It's quite a big
Luke is
gap.
going for it on Lau again.
This time with DRS. And like I said, the gap was quite big to Hus for Kron to go for a move. Will we see Lau coming back to Luke now?
Well, Luke's using his ERS to defend it, and I think he's going to be too far back. So it looks like those mediums are kind of started to struggle around lap 14. And the hards seem to take over from them a bit there.
Yeah, also Boris, who made that mistake, of course, managed to get on the back of Lau now. 6/10 for him. And behind that we see a lot of gaps between those guys. Grego pitting. Colin won't be too happy with that.
Yeah, and
But
Marco just
coming back in P12 on the softs. Getting back to
getting
the
seriously close to Huss here.
and having massive ERS advantage as well compared to Hus. Hus is saving his entire ERS for this main straight.
And I think
what
Luke
looks to help him out.
Also dropped Lau in 4th on the DRS.
Yeah, so we might see a move from Boris now. We won't see one from Kron. Boris is not going for a late break. And Laura managed to get back in the DRS right before the detection zone. But it won't be close enough to go for a move on Luke. And Boris clipping a lot of curb there.
It's been a great race for Kron here. He's up 7 positions and now fighting for the lead. And similarly, Huss is up 4 and Luke up 5. The front runners really lost out in the end.
All those soft runners fell way back.
Even though they had the safety car to help.
Yeah.
But it just meant they got brought out into a fight slower down, didn't it, really, than getting clear air.
Yeah, in that traffic, that doesn't help out a lot. But I need to say that Hus leading on those 15 lap old mediums is doing a great job on his defending, using his ERS on this long straight. And we've seen Kron in 7/10 not being fast enough to go for a move in both DRS zones. So Hus is giving it all at the points where it's very important to get your speed right.
But there's still 5 laps to see out on those, or 4 laps now to see out on those mediums. It could get very tense before the end, and Kron's got incredibly close through there.
Yeah, and looking at the tire wear, Kron is really having an advantage at the moment. The mediums are going over 50% now for most of the medium runners. Well, we get a yellow flag, and that's
spun.
Rick at the same point.
Unfortunately, it's just not got his way tonight, has it? It's just unraveled.
He doesn't. He showed great pace in qualifying, and he's off again.
Yeah, those tyres will be finished.
And once again, we just spoke about it. We see Kron 6/10 behind us, what is not enough on this straight.
Yeah, Huss seems to, like you said, he seems to really gain back time where it most matters to defend the position.
Even though Kron is saving his ERS to use it in the DRS zones, it's not enough.
He's catching now, but is he gonna go for it too far back again? If he can keep it tidy, he might have a look up into turn 1 here.
Boris managed to get past Laur, and Laur is defending back. I'm switching real quick. And now back to the lead, and Huss taking a great defensive line here.
Yeah, Huss has been really impressive in defence here. And interestingly, Boris is now through and very close behind Luke.
Boris's tyre is now on 60% in the meantime.
And just another person who's come back well, Ryan has managed to get himself back up to 6, obviously after having that spin and the big incident with his teammate. But he also does have penalties.
Evil Master saying in the chat, we don't see it. Yeah, Kron is waiting for the last lap. He can overtake when he wants. To be honest, I'm not too sure about it, but
and Luke's just managed to get out of DRS range for the first time, and the car's behind him.
So we might see a move. No, we don't see a move from Laur. While Rodo passes Swifty on the straight. So
and this could be the move from Kron.
Around the outside in turn 1. And Huss spins. And that's very unfortunate. I don't know if there was any contact. I couldn't see it that fast, but Huss managed to get.
But his tyres will be really shaky now. They'll be really overheating.
Yeah, they're now on 60% on his left front.
And I think Boris might be smelling a recovery to the podium here.
Luke, who's now 6/10 behind us, the tyre advantage will be. We've seen it do it in Silverstone as well. Not going for the move straight away. Save your ERS a little. Take the DRS from the car in front. And that made him survive the laps he needed to survive. But he is using his ERS on the exits so far. So he will maybe even look to go for it straight away. Sinful joining us in the chat saying Mercedes power. He's glad that his team is leading this race in mid-gear. Us trying to break the slipstream. Luke not coming close enough for a move so far. Also Laur is out of the DRS distance now to Boris.
Yeah, Boris seems to have got his pace back massively.
Even on those worn out tyres.
He just needs to be careful of not pushing it too far in the last few laps. The worst thing now is if he has a spin.
We see Huss gaining on Kron as well, what is a bit strange to see.
Oh, and Kron's slowed right down, he's let him through. I wonder if there was contact in that first corner then, or what's going on, whether Kron is being a sportsman there and letting him back
If there
past.
was contact, I'm really glad we got this on stream. Great sportsmanship from Kron there. But the slowing down also means Kron will need to defend from Luke now.
Yeah, it's effectively, and the top 5 coming into the last 2 laps here are within 2.5 seconds. Everything could change with a few incidents or untidy corners.
And even Laur is back in the DRS. We see Kron now pushing his ERS, DRS. Hus out of ERS, so easy move there for Kron, and he did it at the end of the straight.
And Boris is very close behind Luke here as well.
I also can imagine that Kron didn't want to wait too long, of course, with the move, knowing Luke was that close behind. Gonna follow Luke in his Ferrari for a moment. Trying to see if Luke can get that P2. If you look at the tires, he should be, right?
Yeah, but Huss has shown really good pace where it matters so far today when defending.
And is still within the DRS of Kron. And that DRS helps us defend a little easier as well.
Yeah. Looks like he's got a bit too much curb there. And Luke's closed up a little bit. Luke's putting on his ERS now.
That curb also got him out of DRS. So we might see a move from Luke now.
Yeah, he's gone up
there
the
he goes. But Hus brakes really late.
And he's sticking around the outside. And now off the inside to last corner. But Luke will have DRS through here.
Great defending from Hus. And we do see Hus cross the line in P2 on those 21 lap mediums. I didn't even realize we were in the final lap, to be honest. Kron takes the win.
Brilliant defending from Hus at the end. Kind of faked it a little bit that he was not going to fight that, and then just came back around the outside. I think he took Luke by surprise there.
I think so as well. Great race from Hus on those old medium tires. Luke finishing
Boris
in P3.
Was only 900ths behind Luke there. It could have easily been another place change.
Yeah, it was almost a photo finish. But Boris did great on repairing his little mistake.
The top 4 finishing in less than 2 seconds of each other.
Loud, great drive from him as well. P5. Rodo, great racing from him in P6. Equal takes P7. Great, well done from him, falling back to P10 after that stuff to the softs. Flying by Vel takes P8. Ryan on his debut takes P9. Deck coming home in P10, of course. He won't be too happy with that. Marko Salijevic in P11. Grego in P12. And now I can't see it anymore. Let's have a look. Fast Messina ending in P13, losing out 1 position. Mirko from P18 to P14, a little bit invisible today. Dragos P10 starting and finished in P15. We see always Rick, who it wasn't meant to be the day for him. P16, Yamins, who disconnected, finishes P17. Sheiks, Captain Maisel, of course, had that DNF. Shakes did it himself. And Maisel couldn't really help it. So we've seen a great race. I bet you are trying to get the podium finishes in.
Yeah, I think we've got the race leader in.
Hi.
So first of all, I need to say, I'm sorry I missed you crossing the line. It was so exciting, the final laps. I forgot we were in the final lap.
Okay.
But nevertheless, congratulations on your win.
Thank you, thank you.
Great racing from you. We've seen an interesting strategy as well. Great moves. The question we all want to ask, I believe everyone who watched as well, did you have contact with Haas in turn one?
I think we did. I'm not sure. I didn't feel it, but I saw him in the mirror that he spawned. So I decided to wait. If there was a contact, I decided to wait for him to let him pass and overtake him, like the racer does.
Yeah, and of course you had that situation easily done with the ERS you got compared to him. Couldn't wait too long either because Luke was really closing in after that one.
Yeah, he did. I saw that, but I knew I had a pace. I had hard tires that was just started to warm up. So I had a good grip and it was a good race, nevertheless.
Yeah, it was a great race to watch as well. There happened a lot in the top 5, top 6. Great race for you, some overtakes. We all caught it on stream for you, so you can watch it back. Do you have any questions left for our race winner, Jones?
Yeah, great race. Was it nervous when the safety car came out? Because obviously, with the different strategies, and everyone was on different strategies, it really changed everything when that safety car came out. What were you thinking at that point?
I was thinking it was good. I really had a good setup. That the car was good on the road, but it really fast about running tires. So that's why I didn't go on medium, because I knew that medium won't last to the end. So I got on hard, but Boris was first. Second was who was second? Just Deck was second. I was third, and I came with the pace that I will finish third, because everyone in front had to pit one more time. So I was calm and just driving my race.
Yeah, and you absolutely executed that strategy perfectly, and obviously disappointing for Boris to spin off, but I guess
yeah,
you couldn't believe your luck when you saw him sideways.
Yeah, I felt for him, so we're bad for Boris.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it looked like he just got a bit too much curb.
No question that everyone asked, maybe Husk can answer it.
We will ask him as well. Thank you. A great race once again. And on to the next one. So, on to our number 2. I leave the questions to my co-commentator Jones.
Right, so Huss, was there a little bit of contact into turn 1 there with Kron?
Yeah, actually I was alongside him, and you know what? He did the move of the season, I think, by letting me go. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. And he really deserved that. I couldn't escape from him. You know, he was always 1 second behind me.
Yeah.
But at the end, my tires was 70% wear, so I couldn't keep him back of me. So, but that was a good battle, and also congratulations to Luke also. And thanks a lot for the movement, the letting me go. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, but sorry for the contact. It wasn't.
No problem,
on
mate. But you
purpose.
know,
So
yeah, I know you, I know. That's all.
yeah, I had a good tire, 40% or 48%, I don't know, but it was. I had a good grip. I knew I had it. I have a like I don't know 70% of ERS. So
Oh,
because
we mate,
I
I was
was
always below 10% here,
yeah,
so you know.
yeah, yeah, I know. You were blinking the red light all the time. So
Yeah, I know.
I knew that you don't have ERS, but I was in DRS zone, so I didn't have to use it. So I know I will. In some point I had to pass you. So maybe
I
I
know.
choose the wrong time. But sorry once again. But
No problem, mate.
it
You
was
know,
a
no
good
problem.
race, a good battle, and
Yeah, that.
congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Yeah, that was quite a finish as well, Hus, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate. You know, I was almost passed by Luke at the last corner. You know, that was intense. You know, I'm all sweat all around me right now. That was
Yeah,
an intense battle. You know.
that was great to see. And we were
Yeah,
so
I'm so
in the
sorry for
battle.
Boris too. You know, he was leading the race. I think he was gonna win the race, but yeah, I'm so sorry for him.
It really looked like it. We all expected Boris to win, but then he made a little mistake, and of course even the best make mistakes sometimes. But yeah, that battle with Luke in the final corners, that was great. Did you notice Boris only finished 900 behind Luke as well?
Wow. I
Yeah, he
didn't
was
see that.
almost on for that podium.
I didn't see them. I didn't see him, but you know that was a good battle. You know, with five of us, you know, it was intense. You know, at the first, I don't know what happened to Rick. You know, he was behind me. I know if I touched him, you know, I don't know if I touched him. I am so sorry for that.
Nah, I don't really know what happened, but it looked like the usual Rick. So and then we got one more left, Jones. Thanks for joining the commentary booth, by the way, Hus and Kron.
Thank you guys for the call. Thank you.
Thanks for showing a great race as well. While we move on to our number 3, and I'd like to introduce him with a song, but I won't do it this time. Questions up to Jones.
All right, Luke, how's it going? Kind of a crazy race for you there, and very up and down, because I think you were in 8th before the safety car came out, and then that seemed to change it when you managed to get onto the hards, because you were stuck behind a bit of traffic. How did you find it?
Yeah, I did not expect this at all. I was P8 and then the safety car, and I was trying to gamble to the hards, and then I thought, oh, everyone is going to medium, so I'm done for this. I'm falling back, and then I will see where I end up. And then all of a sudden I was in the DRS all the time and could follow the medium, so I was maybe their tire wear will go down. I can follow them. And then I thought they were going to box, so I was thinking in my head, how many seconds gap do I need if they are going to need to new tires? And then they continued racing, and I was like, And then they still had the pace, and then Boris and Laura were behind me, and they were catching me, and I was like, nah, I will probably lose this on last laps or something. And then Haas, and I saw a yellow flag into turn 1, and I knew some of the leaders were next to each other, and then I was like, maybe if they both went off, I could win this, but then Haas helped me a bit there at the end, because the DRS saved me from Boris, because Boris was catching me. And yeah, the battle at the end, I almost lost the podium, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, it was very tight at the end. And how close did you get to Boris when he spun? I was on board Boris, and I saw you come past around the outside.
I saw Boris spun, and then I saw him sideways on the track, and I thought I was going to the outside, and then he spun his front back, and then all of a sudden he was in front of me. So I just about missed his car there, but...
So a very sweaty moment through there.
Yeah, there was... because I was following, I think it was Haas. Was Haas in front of me there? Could be. And... I couldn't really see what Boris was doing, and I saw Haas going to the inside, and I thought, oh, they were going to crash, and then all of a sudden Boris was on the outside. And I had this moment in high gear this season as well, so I learned from it.
Yeah, it's a very tough track I found with traction and stuff. It's very easy to slide around on it. I imagine it was
Yeah.
tough also in the wet. So how did you find the qualifying as well? Was that difficult?
The qualifying, yeah, I did a dry setup, so I was just hoping to see where I end up. I knew what my strategy was, but yeah, I had so much understeer on this track in the wet, with a dry setup as well. But then even on the dries, I almost lost it in the right-hander onto the straight. I had to save my car. I was like sideways almost to that corner, but I saved it, and then yeah, the grip is, it's not great.
Yeah.
In the
Well,
wet.
great race today, and that's 2 podiums in a row, winning a third. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And then that was it for tonight in RPM. I want to thank all of you for watching. If you want to join RPM, just go into the little description on our YouTube channel and join our Discord server. And one of our staff members will help you through. I want to thank Jones for joining me on comms.
Yep, thanks for having
It was
me.
a pleasure once again. And I wish you all a very good evening. And I
You
expect...
too. Thank you for
Yeah.
your commentating skills and everything.
No problem at all.
Thank you, guys.
And we see you back tomorrow for High Gear.